Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Jeremy, and today I'll be walking you through how to create a thesis statement. In our first video in this series, we're going to introduce you to the thesis statement tool itself. We're going to be using content from grade 10, unit 3 on the Cold War, and let's begin. So what is the thesis statement tool? This tool actually has several parts to it. So we're going to be looking at each of these parts. In step 1, we are going to frame the question. If it's a statement and a question doesn't exist, we'll turn the statement into a question. But if there is a question, this is a great time to break the question down, try to clarify it, or even rewrite it in our own words. For our second step, we're going to now answer the question now that we've broke it down and we understood it. The third step of this tool considers the evidence that could hopefully help us answer the question. So it's not enough just to answer a question. A strong thesis also supports itself. So in step 3, we brainstorm a list of evidence you plan to use. And this doesn't have to be expansive or long. We're just trying to put down ideas and trying to figure out, what do we know about this topic? What could help us answer the question? And in step 4, we take this evidence that we brainstormed and we try to categorize it. We look for potential themes and potential patterns that we're noticing in our evidence, because we're going to try then to put these together in categories that best supports our claim. And then we go to step 5, where we try to put all of this together. And we're going to put together step 2 and step 4. And we have an equation that could help you as well, where you're looking at step 2, your belief about the topic, plus step 4, your major categories. And this will equal our thesis. And because our work is never fully complete, because remember, this is just a draft, we will come back in step 6 to revise and rework and see if we could really fine tune and make our thesis statement super strong. Right? So these are the 6 steps that we are going to use and look at during this series. And you may also have the adapted thesis statement tool, which will help support you into drafting your thesis statements as well. And we'll take a look at that too. The tool itself really helps support you in not only just answering a question, but really gathering the evidence to answer that question. And our goal is to establish a belief about the topic and also give the reader a preview about what we're about to read. Your thesis statement is also your guide, right? It's your blueprint to your reader. This is what I'm going to be talking about. These are the categories and evidence that I will be talking about. And this goes back to our equation that I mentioned before, that we're going to talk about what we believe about the topic, so our answer, and then the evidence that will support that. If you are looking at the adapted tool, you also will see the criteria. These are just things to consider that could help make a strong thesis. So does your thesis tell the reader how you're interpreting the question, how you're interpreting the significance of the subject? Is it giving that blueprint and telling us what to expect from the paper? Does it address the specific topic or problem that the question came out? And this is really important for us to know. A thesis statement is not just a yes or no answer. It has to be a bit more than that, because it's not a topic, nor is it just your opinion. A thesis statement is always rooted and supported by evidence, which is why we had that equation. So we're not just saying yes or no, we're saying this is this way because we're going to support it. And this is how we're going to support it with our categories, right? This is why we were thinking about our categories. And not only are we going to do that, the thesis itself should be open to interpretation. People can and should be able to argue back with your thesis. And that is going to make it strong. Once you see that not only are we going to answer a question, we're going to give evidence that leads to further thinking. So I hope you're ready to tackle this aboard. Next video, we're going to start using the thesis statement tool to break down our question, what factors led to the start of the Cold War? See you next video.